Hey folks, Ed from BrainPulp TV, and I am back with another BrainPulp vlog. Now, I'm not normally like bouncing off the walls when I do these. However, I will still probably show a little bit less energy today than I do when I normally record these. So it's not a lack of enthusiasm. Truth be told, I had some bad Chinese food yesterday, and I didn't have like full-blown food poisoning, but it made for a very restless night, and I am not at peak capacity today. However, I am going to soldier on and go through the vlog because there is definitely things I want to talk about, and let's get to the first one right now. Now, first and foremost, if you've been listening to the previous vlogs I've discussed some changes I'm making to the channel. As well, I'm making some changes to my house and trying to create a bit of a home studio on top of what I do here in the office, which is film these types of videos. So for those of you who've been waiting for new content, it is coming very soon. This coming week, there is going to be at least 1 or 2 new videos for you guys, other than like a vlog type thing. And then starting on August 28th, which is the Monday, there should be a return of the regular sort of updates to the site. That includes 2 Magic the Gathering style videos and 1 that's probably going to be non-Magic the Gathering related. So that is all going to be starting on August 28th, as well as a couple of videos that is still going to be released next week that aren't going to be the vlog. So for those of you who've been waiting for some new, fresh content, it is coming very soon. Now, in that same sort of vein, the home studio that I've been building is coming along quite nice. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I posted some pictures on Twitter of a overhead camera rig that I built and then mounted onto the ceiling of my rec room. So this is a space which I've set aside, and it's going to be for tabletop play, for openings, that sort of thing, when I can show certain products, and where I want a dedicated overhead camera that doesn't require me to use like a tripod with an extended arm, which is something I've built in the past for when we used to shoot the Mana Caves at Travis's place. So I'm hoping this actually will be able to speed up the turnaround time for me to be able to create certain videos that require overhead shots. And it should also open up sort of a different sort of style of video where I would like to be sitting behind a table and discussing some things with you guys, showing you some things, and then you can see them as I'm showing them, or I can cut to scenes of what I'm showing to you at the table in front of me. So I'm pretty happy with the progress. There's still not a whole lot of window dressing when it comes to the studio. I need to sort of dress up the backgrounds a bit. That all can come in time. This was really the most important thing, specifically for shooting new episodes of the Mana Cave. Now, another thing I mentioned before was streaming, and the 2 tentative dates I gave for when I would possibly start streaming was either the 18th of August, which is actually the day I'm recording this, or the 21st of August, which is a Monday. Now, if you're not seeing this on Friday, I will probably have done a test stream. I'm not going to have announced it at all. The test stream could have been anywhere from like a couple of minutes to an hour or so. It would have just been to test to make certain that things are actually running and things were sort of being shown on Twitch properly, and I was using the software correctly. If that didn't work out the way I wanted to, then probably over the course of the weekend, I will have done a couple more of those. Now, all of this is to make sure that on Monday, August 21st, I can actually start streaming on Twitch. So that is definitely something that's coming. It's going to start on the 21st officially, and I will announce on Twitter, and I'm not sure where else I can really announce it, but I will definitely try to let you guys know ahead of time when I'm going to be on Twitch. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the very first stream is going to be. However, I'm fairly certain it's going to be Magic the Gathering based, as a way to say thank you to you guys who, like I've mentioned in the past, most of you have probably come to this channel for Magic the Gathering content. So the streaming I do on a regular basis, which I'm hoping is going to be almost every single weekday, is something that may not be filled with Magic the Gathering content. However, I wanted the very first one of these streams to be Magic content. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be limited or constructed play and how long that stream is going to be. It's entirely possible for under technical difficulties, it's not going to be anywhere near as long as I would like, but it should be at least a couple hours. So that will be the first stream. It will be Magic the Gathering. After that, probably for the rest of the week, I will be doing streams that don't involve Magic the Gathering, or else I'll be doing Magic for a bit and then switching to something else. So yes, streams are coming. There are going to be some tests this weekend. If you're lucky, you may, or unlucky, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it, you may be able to catch some of the testing that I do on Twitch. But yes, Monday, August 21st, I should be hitting Twitch, and I will let you guys know on Twitter. So keep a lookout for that as to when exactly I will be going live on Twitch. Now, something a bit related to streaming that you guys might be interested in, or some of you may be interested in, the software that I use to record videos like this, as well as the Magic Online videos I've done in the past and all the Let's Plays I've done, is a program called OBS, or Open Broadcast Software, which almost 100% sure that's what the name of the program is. Now, they have sort of like a core program that they've had for a very long time. And then in the past, I want to say year, maybe possibly even 2, they came out with a different program, OBS Studios, which is got a few more bells and whistles used for streaming and stuff. So it takes me a long time to sort of switch over from one program to the next. Now, I've mentioned in the past, I'm a freelance artist. For the longest time before I switched to Photoshop, I was using a program called Photo Paint. And I really struggled with the mental hurdle of switching from one program to another, because even though there's similarities, there's always a bit of a learning curve. So I did want to make the switch from OBS to OBS Studio before I started streaming, because I thought there were some features in there that would be much more useful. Like, one of the things that I've already noticed about using OBS Studio, which is this is being recorded on, by the way, is the green screen color key programming or coding that they use seems to be a bit better than the one that they had on regular OBS. I found it was more finicky in the old program, whereas this one was a little bit easier to use, and I felt you had more I had more control over chroma keying out the green screen in the background. So little things like that, little changes like that, I thought was impressive enough that I definitely wanted to make the switch. Now, one of the other changes I'm making as well too is that when I stream, or when I was recording, sorry, not streaming, when I was recording Magic Online Play or any of my Let's Plays, I would record the audio in a separate program that I was recording the video, and then I would sync them up afterwards. What I'm trying with this right here, right now, is I'm using OBS's software to both record the audio through the mic and the video. Now, in the past, the reason why I haven't done this is because I've noticed that after certain times with certain recordings, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be longer recordings. Some of them were very short, some of them were much longer. But I noticed that there was a slight drift between the audio and the video. So at the start of the video, the audio was matching up, and you could tell that from watching my lips and everything. And then by the end of the video, there would be just half a second sort of delay, sometimes even longer, but enough where it really looked like it was out of sync. So that is something that used to drive me nuts, which is why I would record my audio in a separate file, because that sort of fixed that problem and was a little bit easier to sync up. So hopefully, by the time you're watching the end of this video, and you might have actually noticed that in some of my prior videos where maybe the last few seconds of the video, the audio wasn't syncing up properly, because I will have started editing it, chopping the video up, and then I'll realize halfway through that the audio wasn't synced up properly. So hopefully with this one, which I don't plan on altering at all unless it's really, really screwed up, hopefully the OBS Studio has sort of fixed that aspect of an issue I had with their previous software, and the audio can be recorded at the same time as the video. Now, the reason why I'm really hoping it does work out this way is because when I'm pre-recording stuff like the Let's Plays or videos like this as well too, and I'm using 2 different bits of software, it's not an issue. However, when I stream, I'm not really going to be able to do that. I'm going to have to use this streaming software to also get my voice across through the microphone. So that's why I'm trying to get used to this, as opposed to relying on using Audacity and OBS together in order to record these videos. This is sort of a dry run. Hopefully it worked out. I'll let you know by the end of the video if it did or not. Okay, now that we've talked about all that, let's set it aside for those of you who aren't interested in information about what's going on with the studio or what's going on with the software I'm using and all that other stuff. Let's talk specifics about videos that are coming to the channel very soon. First off, I have recorded the audio for a new Topex, which is going to be about one of my favorite blue spells, which I'll give you a hint with the screen to the side of me here, and that will be coming out on the week of August 28th, which, as I mentioned before, is the week where hopefully things get back to normal here on the channel and regular content starts rolling out week in, week out. As well, there will be new Magic Online videos. The first one for that particular week will be a updated version of my Regal Caracals deck, which I showed you a video on before. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that video, a link will be provided somewhere here, unless I forgot to put it in, which hopefully I didn't. However, if you're looking for just sort of an abridged version as to what that deck is all about, a few weeks ago, we did a series called You Choose the Brew, where we presented you with 3 different cards that we could possibly build decks around. You guys got to choose which one we would build a deck around. The card chosen for me was Champion Aronis, but one of the options I provided you guys with was Regal Caracals. Now, because for a while there it looked like the Cats were going to win, I went ahead and built the deck and did some testing online. I even recorded some of the footage, which is what the link was I just provided you with. So I've kept that deck, and now with Hour of Devastation coming out, there's new cards that can definitely go in that deck and probably make it a lot stronger. So I want to take another crack at it, and I'm going to do some gameplay footage that I'm going to record for you guys and put it on the channel. Now, I did have sort of some internal debate as to what the first Magic Online video should be once I get back to regular content on the channel. It was either going to be between Pauper or the Cats, and I chose the Cats in the end. I'm going to be getting back to doing Pauper, some proper deck techs, as well as Magic Online Pauper play. That is definitely something in the future, but we're going to start off with the Cats and then get to Pauper probably, hopefully, the week afterwards. And finally, the non-Magic related video I will be doing that week is going to be the first part of my story mode playthrough of The Long Dark. Not The Long Night, which I called it a million times in the previous video. It is The Long Dark. So yes, those of you who have been waiting for a return of regular content here on the channel, thank you so much for your patience. It is coming, and as well too, there should be at least, like I said, 1, possibly 2 other videos coming next week. But yes, August 28th is sort of the kickoff of the new chapter of BrainPulp TV. And actually, while we're talking about you kind folks out there who have been wonderful enough to show the patience you have and to continue to support the channel as we've gone through this transition period, I want to talk about a new feature which I'm going to be doing on the vlogs here, which is taking one of your comments per week and discussing it on the vlog. At least one. I'm going to start off with just doing 1 per week, and then we'll see if I can fit more in or what have you. Now, the way I'm going to work this is just going to be a comment which struck my eye for one reason or another. Either I never got a chance to actually answer it in the comment section, and I do try to answer all the comments in the comment section as often as I can. Or it's just something which I did answer already, but I thought was an interesting enough comment to sort of discuss a little bit more with you guys, because maybe you guys missed it and you didn't see what was sort of talked about in this comment. Now, to kick this feature off, I'm going to be talking about a comment that Trav left on BrainPulp vlog number 5, which was the previous vlog to this one. Trav wrote, "You should take us on a trip someday to your local game store. Someday when you're doing a typical run for game store items, people nowadays love those kinds of videos." Well, Trav, that is definitely something I would like to do in the future. In fact, that's something we sort of discussed with Josh, the manager of the Play and Trade, where Travis, Steve, and myself have done pre-releases in the past. We've discussed going there and filming some stuff at the store. Now, unfortunately, scheduling-wise, things just did not work out the past couple times we were considering doing it, and it's certainly not because of Josh or Play and Trade. They were very accommodating. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out to do any shooting there. However, at the latest, when the newest expansion for Magic the Gathering comes out, if I'm not able to get out there sooner than that, you can expect that type of content to sort of come to the channel as well too, as a new feature which will hopefully be an ongoing and regular feature on the channel too. So thank you very much for the comment. And while we're speaking about gaming stores and gaming in general, a couple things I want to mention. 2 games that are coming out through a company called Fantasy Flight Games. Now, you've probably heard me mention the game Twilight Imperium in the past on these vlogs. Well, up until recently, Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition, along with its 2 expansions, was the newest version of that game, and I was actually waiting for them to reprint the 2 expansions so I could get my hands on it for a relatively non-insane price like I was seeing on eBay. However, they really surprised me, and it is the 20th anniversary of Twilight Imperium, and they are releasing a 4th edition to that game coming out the 4th quarter of this year, so sometime probably around Christmas. In fact, from what I've heard, they're actually selling the game now at Gen Con. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get someone to get me a copy. If I am, I will definitely let you guys know and maybe do a bit of a review here on the channel when I first get it. But even if I just have to pre-order it and then get it in at the same time everyone else, I'm still going to do some videos on that game here on the channel. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Twilight Imperium at all, it is a beautiful, beautiful game, which is sort of like a space opera. Think of like either Babylon 5 or the Star Trek universe or even Star Wars type of thing, where you're vying for control of the universe. And you can do it through either political means or battles or a combination of both. And trust me, the description I just gave it is not doing it justice. If you know anyone who has the game and you haven't tried it yet, definitely try 3rd edition and see how you like it. Set aside several hours, because even if you're only playing with like 4 people and it's up to 8 people you can play with, this game can take a long time to play from beginning to end. So set aside the time, but trust me, it'll be worth it if you're into that sort of board game. And finally, the same company that makes Twilight Imperium, Fantasy Flight Games, is coming out with a board game version of Bethesda's Fallout series. Now, if you've never played any of the Fallout games, for the love of God, please try those games. They are amazing. Even the older versions, which before they became first-person shooters, are a lot of fun to play. The newer versions are absolutely incredible. Even sort of the spin-off one, like Fallout New Vegas, I really, really enjoyed it, though it wasn't the greatest of the series. But it's a super, super fun game to play on either console or PC. And from what I've seen of the board game version so far, it looks like they've really gone out of their way to try to craft an actual fun board game experience. Now, I'm sure many of you have seen board games or other types of sort of spin-off type products where it's really just taking some product skin and slapping it on another product, and it's not necessarily the greatest. This really does not I haven't had a chance to play it, but from what I've seen so far, this really doesn't seem to be the case with this Fallout board game. So I'm super excited. Now, when it comes to price of these, the Twilight Imperium 4th edition is currently, as far as I know, a whopping $150 US. The Fallout game is $60. So that may be a deciding factor for a lot of you as to which of these you may ever end up trying. For me, unfortunately, because I'm such a huge Fallout fan and I'm a huge Twilight Imperium fan, I will eventually end up buying both. I'm definitely pre-ordering Twilight Imperium, but I'm probably going to try to find the money on top of that, along with all the magic stuff that I'm going to end up getting for Fallout as well, too. And when I do, I will definitely do videos on that as well, because that is the whole point of building this damn studio in my rec room. Anyways, I think that is it for this vlog. I've talked long enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave that in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. You can also contact and follow BrainPulp on Twitter at BrainPulpTV, or me directly on Twitter at Geek Tragedy. And with all that said, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, supporting the channel, doing everything you guys do to help it grow. It means a lot to me here. I hope you have a good evening, night, day, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I'll see you all again real soon.